What is going on, guys? It is Guns, as always, here on Guns Gaming. Welcome to GG. Today, we're going to go over patch notes for month 1 update. This is the big content, the juicy thickness that we're going to get for the first big content update here on April 20th. So let's just take a look at it here. They go over, a brief summary. You want to read that, whatever, I don't care. Known issues that are currently in the game. The motorbike leans slightly to the right when driving straight. The tires on the motorbike cannot be shot out at the moment. And there are some translation issues if you're a non-English player. Now, I've played this on the test server. Holy crap, it's amazing. Because the FPS drop issues, wherever you would go to Yasnana Polana and Georgia Pool, you'd drop down into the 20s, maybe low 30s FPS if you're lucky, okay? They have fixed that. The FPS in those cities is amazing now. There are, in general, very little FPS issues left. It's really hard to actually get below 40 FPS in this game now, which is great. That's a huge part of the optimization done. That's a huge thing. They reduce load on the CPU, so for those of you that are rendering at really high frame rates, upwards of the 80 plus area, you're probably going to be able to do even more now. They made improvements to address FPS issues severely dropping in other areas. And they worked on a few frame hitching areas. In general, it's a vast improvement overall, but there's still some improvements they want to do. The rendering performance on PCs for minimum system requirements has been improved, or rather reduced, so that lower-end PCs can also do this. And the graphics quality has also been reduced, but improved. Is the thing you're going to have to take away with that. It's a little bit odd. They did do some server performance issues. Improvements, because the latency and server performance issues, they have fixed some of those. Those are now out of the way. We don't have to worry about them. One other thing that they're going to talk about, I think they'll actually talk about it in here, so I'll wait, and if they don't get to it, then I'll talk about it. They added the Vector SMG. And the Vector, well, it's just damn good. For instance, let's go to our field correspondent, Shizzle. You can find Shizzle at twitch.tv/5HIZZLE. He streams starting usually around 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're a night owl, he's a great streamer for you to go check out for the Battlegrounds. They added the motorbike with the sidecar. A sidecarless version that will be added in the future, so there will be motorbikes without sidecars, and they're really fun, really interesting. They can also do this.
114, about 114 is what I've seen it max at. 15, 16.
Oh, Jesus!
Oh, you do jump off! Oh! That was worth it!
You can also find Co-Carnage and Bikeman over on twitch.tv/Bikeman/Co-Carnage. Go check those guys out as well. They added the ×2 aim point scope, which in my opinion is great. It gives us a medium between red dots and ACOGs, which I was wanting badly. They added a ballistics mask, which kind of looks like something from a BDSM skit. 3 new color variations of the Dacia, or the Dacia. European or English or American, whichever you prefer, and they added the crossbow back into the game. I'm not actually sure what changes they made to it because I never pick up the crossbow. The world changes. These are very important, especially for competitive playing. They adjusted the density of environmental elements to be identical across all graphical options. They adjusted object placement to address issues with characters getting stuck. You may have seen that in a few clips of mine where I get stuck on doors and things like that. They adjusted placement of trees that were spawning inside houses or above terrain, and they adjusted the frequency of the thunder sound during rain. All those are great changes, particularly the environmental density changes. That basically means foliage, no matter where you put it, it's going to give the consistent amount of coverage across all of them. So the difference now between foliage option is looking ugly in higher FPS or looking pretty. That's the difference now. The UI has had a couple of changes to it. They revised certain system messages and item descriptions, and added item descriptions for attachments. Thank you. The dead teammate icon will now disappear after a certain time and a distance away from your teammate. Map markers are now going to be visible to your entire team, and names of teammates now appear on the world map. Some big gameplay changes. You're now able to move sideways and backwards in the revive state. The revive timer will no longer decrease when a teammate is attempting to revive you. That's a fucking huge one. When attempting to revive a teammate, the revive timer icon will also be visible to the player being revived, which is also very good. They adjusted the character's position slightly when in the revive state. They made improvements to address the issues of characters shaking while being spectated. You're now able to open the world map while spectating, which is also amazing. You can now view the casting bar when a teammate you are spectating uses heal and other boost items. You can no longer use heal or boost items while in the water, which I also think is a great change. People were like scumming it, trying to just stay in the water and stay alive through some fights, and you can no longer do that, which is a great change in my opinion. Action and gunplay. Now, a couple of these changes I don't want to go over too much in depth here, because this is going to be a live, uncut video, except for like a few things here and there. But, they adjusted overall balance. They didn't give too much thorough details on this, and I think they didn't do that for a couple of reasons. One, most of the changes are pretty minimal. A lot of it feels really the same to me. Some people are saying some things feel nerfed, and no, they honestly don't. I think some people are just overreacting. Two, this game is in development currently. This is an ongoing process, and they are going to be changing these adjustments over time to suit the game to the best of its needs. So if there is something that did change that you notice that you don't like, don't worry. It's more than likely going to change based on player feedback and how things feel in the game. They're going to continue to balance it throughout the entire early access that they're going to be in. You can now sprint in the crouch state, which is actually pretty cool. So be able to go from crouching to a sprint, and it's not a full run sprint. It's specifically a crouch sprint. They fixed the issue of unarmed, armed states not being applied when there are delays in the server network. So that's going to change server side and client side, and then client side is going to override server side. That's not really something, you know, they could use cheater-wise. This is one I really enjoy. The blood hit effect size now varies according to the weapon caliber. You can move while aiming down the scope in the prone state. You could not before it. Very helpful. They fixed an issue in the sitting position in the character in the back right seat in the UAZ. We had ran into that issue. You're just slightly taller than everybody else. It's kind of funny. They fixed an issue in the positioning of the left hand when reloading the AWM. Fixed an issue where aiming from vehicles was not accurate, which is also a really good one. And the position of bullet hits are now the same for both yourself and others, which was a difference. It was a little odd because you would have desync where somebody gets shot in the foot and you see them get hit in the shoulder if they're standing beside you. So they fixed some of those issues. A lot of these issues are a lot of animations, a lot of fixes like that, improvements, reload animations, whatnot. Here's one kind of important one that I think everyone should know about. Sound effect differences for supersonic and non-supersonic bullet sounds. They made adjustments so that the sound of the flying bullet through the air doesn't play when shots are fired from a short distance from your character, which is good because that's just so much sound that it's completely disorienting. You can now figure out what floor your opponents are on just by listening to their footsteps. This was a problem beforehand. If you did not know, the footsteps were very good at telling you whether they were left or right of you, okay? They were very bad at telling you whether they're vertical, where they at vertically as opposed to you. Now they can do that, which is a great. And they adjusted the footsteps, the volume of the footsteps. They also adjusted the firing sound of the SKA at mid to long range. It was actually kind of quiet, if you didn't know. Some miscellaneous things. They opened a test server, and these test servers are going to be testing updates as they go along. So if you do want to test those updates as they're coming out, that'll be the place to do it for you. And they have some more additional in-game text that have been localized. Other than that, there are some bug fixes which are great. There's always going to be bug fixes. But, in general, this update's really awesome. I'm super happy with this update, and for this to be their first major content update, like, I'm really excited to see the rest of them. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to go play it right now on stream, so if you guys want to come watch me, it's twitch.tv/GUNZGAMES. Thank you guys for sitting here watching me on Guns Games or Guns Gaming or whatever the hell I decide to brand it to now, but we'll see. Like I said, I'll be over at Twitch. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to hear me ranting. If you want to support the channel, you can buy stuff off of Green Man Gaming using my referral link down in the description. Sends me a little bit of money, saves you some money too. Or if you want to support the channel directly, you can go over to patreon.com/3gunsdown. I need to get that changed. That'll be on screen for you to click right now. Feel free to check out the rest of my PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds guides as they're highly influential and helpful as so people claim them to be. There will be more coming out. We have a recoil and leading guide coming out soon. I'm Guns. Thank you guys for watching. GG. I'll see you out there.